quick V12 308 project update. The car is sitting here, the engine's sitting over here, it's broken, I'm waiting on engine parts. I set the valve to piston clearance wrong. The valves were kind of touching every now and then, and it broke one and broke all kinds of engine stuff. So that's sitting waiting for me to get that repaired. In the meantime, I decided to rip the dash apart and run a CAN bus line from the ECU and back up to a steering control unit I've got tucked behind the dashboard. I put in electric power steering and little controller. I want to make it speed sensitive. It's nice at slow speeds, but it's a little over assisted at higher speeds, so I want to add that control to it. While I was doing that, I decided it was time for this ignition switch that I think I got at Tractor Supply 20 or 25 years ago to replace the one that broke in the dashboard. I think it's time for this to go and add a push to start setup. Now, push to start I thought would be pretty simple. I just order a kit from Amazon, install it, all set. But it didn't really go that way. So the kit itself said, you know, it's standalone. It doesn't need a security system, which is kind of what I was looking for. But the reality is, it comes with this wire bundle. There's 3 wires, 2 whites and a brown. One's got to go to the blinkers. The other 2 go to door open, door close. And they have to be connected in order to lock and unlock this unit. Now, I don't have any of those controls to connect this to, so there's no good way to turn this unit on and off. And the other thing that it does is when you press the button, power turns on, great. Press the brake and press the button, the engine starts, just like you'd expect. To turn the engine off, though, you also need to press the brake and the button at the same time or it won't shut down. This car is 800 horsepower. When I touch the off button, I want to know that the car is going to turn off. I don't want to be thinking about it. I pressed it, what do I need to do? Touch the button, the engine should turn off. So that's what I wanted. Now, it came with a pretty nice button. I guess it's a Volkswagen button. I like the button. It came with a little housing. I don't know if I can use that. It doesn't fit my dash that well. It's nice housing, though. I like the setup. Best part of the whole system. So I got thinking, it's like, well, okay, I'll keep the button and I'll just add a little latching relay to it. So the little latching relay wires here, short the wires, you know, connecting to the button, the wire's short, the little latching relay turns on, touch the button again, short the wires, it turns off. Perfect. That was in my head. In reality, this guy, you touch the wires and nothing happens. You release and it switches. So press the button and release, it turns on. Press the button and release, it turns off. Not what I wanted it to do. So I was like, well, okay, it's got to blink. So I got a little timer relay here. I said, we'll turn that on. No matter what, you press the button, it gets, you know, the power is there, but this will turn it off automatically, whether you release the button or not. You know, like a 1/10 of a second, it'll turn off, so it'll work. But then this is working on 5 volts here, this signal line, not 12, so I couldn't connect everything together the way I wanted to. I had to add another relay to control that little push button feature. But I think what I've got going right now is, keep an eye on, there's a little green LED here. The ohm meter, let me turn that on. The ohm meter will show as well, but it takes a second to react. So if I touch the button and release, green, it's on. Touch the button and release, it's off. Touch the button and hold, it's on. Release, nothing changes. Push and hold, it's off. So that does exactly what I want it to do. No matter what I do, when I hit the button, the engine will turn off. So that's good. So that's ignition. For start, I think what I'm going to do is leave that to the ECU for the starter control. The engine's in the back, the ECU's in the back. There's an empty relay slot in the relay bank that I have in the back. So I think I'm going to let the ECU control the starter. I've already got a clutch and brake switches wired to the ECU for traction control that I was planning to run. So the ECU will control the starter based on what the driver does with the button and the brakes and whatnot. But this is now working. I'm going to ponder this to see if I could figure out a simpler way to do this. But I think it's ready to go. I just need to make a housing and mount all that up. So more to come. Stay tuned.